Liverpool want the next Ligt. Frenkie De Jong set for a bizarre role. Balotelli to Brazil, a dream for Marine, and a transfer roundup all coming up in the next few minutes. As I'm your host, Matt Froelich, you are the OneFootballers, and this is the Daily News. So first up, and Schuurs is a name that you probably hadn't heard of too much, and according to some in the Netherlands, at Ajax he is the next Matthijs de Ligt. Now it's probably because he's a central defensive player with blonde hair and he looks a little bit like de Ligt that is the reason for this comparison. But having said that, on the footballing side of things, he's a pretty good defender, so much so that Liverpool are willing to make a £27 million bid for the defender and bring him in as not only cover for Virgil van Dijk, but also as the future of Liverpool's defence. At the moment, they're having to rely on quite a few youngsters who have stepped in rather well, but Schuurs bring an extra level of experience to the job. Alongside this, Charles Matip seems to be injured every other week. Virgil van Dijk has obviously got that long-term injury. We're not sure whether he'll come back the same defender. And Joe Gomez has had a little bit of a rocky start to the season. Having not directly replaced Dejan Lovren, Liverpool would be making a smart move by signing the Ajax player in the January transfer window, and they've had a look at him firsthand as well. Not only did he play against the Reds when they welcomed them to their home stadium, but he can also be set for an appearance at Anfield in their next Champions League match. Honestly, as far as defenders go, they're going to cost a lot. We know you can overpay for the likes of Maguire. Koulibaly was set to be ridiculously expensive as well, and a few others. So £27 million in this day's transfer market doesn't actually seem like a bad idea. So next up, from Ajax to a former Ajax player in Frenkie De Jong, who now at Barcelona is going to be asked to fill in a rather strange position for him, that of centre-back. Now, it's well documented that Liverpool have defensive problems, my word. Barcelona have some ridiculous defensive problems as well. Gerard Piqué is out, Samuel Umtiti is out, Sergio Roberto is out, Ronaldo Araujo isn't coming back just yet, and Clement Lenglet picked up an injury at the weekend. This means, alongside Oscar Mingueza, they haven't really got anyone else to play. So much so that Frenkie De Jong is going to be moving back from his central midfield role into a central defensive role. Now, if there was a team, maybe not at the moment, but if there was a team where you'd feel comfortable moving from midfield into defence, it would probably be Barcelona. Like historically, I'm especially thinking of the likes of Javier Mascherano. When you play for Barcelona, you're going to have a lot of the ball, you're going to dominate possession, and it's going to be more about how you play the ball out from the back rather than having to be a rugged, tough defender. So I think Frenkie De Jong could really excel at that point. It's just if they come under so much struggle that they're going to have to probably defend, I think he may come a bit undone. Thankfully, and this is no disrespect, but they're only playing Fenerbahce in the Champions League. They are already through to the round of 16. Of course, they want to finish top of the group ahead of Juventus to get themselves a little bit more of a favourable draw come the knockout rounds, but if worse comes to worse, he has an absolute stinker and somehow they lose the game, it's still not the end of the world. I always think that this happens with Barca and Manchester City, where we've seen it with Fernandinho. They just basically back themselves to not really have too much defending to do, and all of their play they'll be doing with the ball, so having a midfielder at centre-back actually makes sense. Also, on top of this, it means that there is one more spot open in the Barcelona midfield, where the likes of Ricky Puig or Carlos Alenia could potentially make a very rare start. So next up, and to Mario Balotelli, and honestly, guys, I feel like I've heard this story a million times. Apparently, he has agreed a deal with Brazilian side Vasco da Gama, who actually have the second highest amount of trophies in world football behind Real Madrid, and well, don't they like letting you know about it. The director of sport, Fabio Cordella, mentioned that in a press conference as to why Balotelli would love to join the club. He's saying that the club needs him, and he needs the club, and he is not coming to Rio to do anything stupid because he has matured. That is what we hear all the time. I feel like there's a template for a Mario Balotelli press conference, whether it's Liverpool, whether it's back to AC Milan, whether it's Brescia like he was last season before being released. Every chance he gets, the chairman, the director of football, the manager, the players, the coach, they always come out with this same spiel. It's always, yeah, but Balotelli's older now, he's matured a bit, he's going to be big for the team, he's going to do this, he's going to do that, and at the end of it, he just continuously ends up not producing what we know he's capable of producing. That Mario Balotelli that we saw at the Euros in 2012 was brilliant. I've no doubt he's a talented footballer. He wouldn't have got this far if he wasn't. But after just so many chances, surely clubs are starting to think, you know what? maybe his talent isn't worth all the baggage that he brings. I'm not saying he's a bad egg or anything, it just looks like he can't pull his finger out his arse and really perform consistently over the course of a season. Brescia, his hometown club, were in a relegation battle last season and he pretty much did absolutely nothing to help them. That's not exactly the kind of attitude you want from a big star player with a great track record in terms of the clubs he's been at and the trophies that he's won, and a pretty decent goal scoring record over the years as well. Hopefully, I'm hoping for Balotelli, if he does move to Vasco da Gama, it works out for the club, it works out for him, and we can finally see the best of the Italian. The FA Cup is back. That is our next story, and Marine, 8th Division Marine, have an absolutely ridiculous tie to look forward to against Jose Mourinho's Tottenham Hotspur. On the 9th of January, as I said, the 8th Division club, who are only the second 8th Division club to reach the FA Cup third round, will take on Spurs in what is set to be a ridiculously exciting tie for all those players. And who said the magic of the cup isn't alive? This is what it's all about. The coach was saying they've played 7 matches to get here. Whereas in the Premier League, especially the Premier League big boys, you kind of just join in at the third round because that's when it makes the most sense. They've played 7 games. Spurs are going to go all the way to Liverpool, which is where Marine is based, to go and play the 8th Division side. And I can't stop saying that because it's so unbelievable they've even made it there. On top of this, the FA Cup threw up some rather interesting draws elsewhere, especially for some non-league sides too. Chorley will be hosting Derby County, who are currently led by Wayne Rooney, but could, according to reports, be led by John Terry in the near future. Stockport have managed to get a home tie with Premier League West Ham. National League side Boreham Wood will be hosting Millwall after beating Canvey Island, and also, not really non-league, but a West London derby will take place as QPR will play Fulham. Finally then, we come to a quick roundup of the rest of the day's transfer news that you might have missed. And first up, AC Milan want to make their loan signing of Brahim Diaz from Real Madrid a permanent one. Hertha Berlin are interested in bringing Julian Weigl back to the Bundesliga from Benfica. Manchester City have apparently agreed a deal for 17-year-old Dario Sarmiento from Estudiantes, and some unbelievably good news that Raul Jimenez, after suffering a fractured skull on Sunday night against Arsenal, has spoken for the first time since, saying he hopes to be back to the pitch very, very soon. That's all from me then. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure you check out the rest of the stuff we've got going on OneFootball. And until next time, I'll see you guys later.